Hi, good morning.
What's up, everybody? Be live in the house. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Those that's going to jump on this live session right away, and those that's going to jump on later, and those that's going to see the video later. Good morning to you. Another Saturday.
Yes.
Be live, and so we're kind of going to jump right into it in a sense. But first,
as we always do.
But first, two things. At 9:30, we're going to do something a little different. Those that desire to ask questions and those kind of things, we're going to allow that to happen then. If not, we're just going to end it at 9:30, and then we'll pretty much go from there. And so we've been doing this for 2 months now, right?
Has it really been 2 months?
So August 1st we started it. It seems like we've been doing it forever, and just the crowd has been growing and growing and growing, and the views have been growing and growing and growing, and the impact has been growing.
Yeah.
And that's the most important, the impact. And so we're grateful, right?
Yeah, we're grateful. It's all about encouraging you. And I put that yesterday. It's all about encouraging you to never quit, to never give up, to go for it, to live your dream, and to uplift you. You know, we just want to uplift you. We want to put a smile on your face. We want to give you some hope, something to live for. And that's why I love the B Tour so much. And I love just that we get the opportunity to do this, and that people are impacted by it. So
yeah, so we're grateful for the opportunity. So thank you so much for yielding yourselves to what comes out of our mouth, and believing in what we're saying enough to receive it and be encouraged by it. Now, here's what I want you guys to do before we jump into today's session. I want you to, if you're listening to this part, I want you to make sure you share this video. Share it at the end when it's all over. Normally it takes about a day before we have 1 million shares and views and likes and stuff like that. And so when this video is over, do me a favor and share it. Not for you, though, because you're going to be tuning in, you're going to watch it and all that other kind of stuff. I want you to share it for someone else. I want you to share it ultimately for someone else, so someone else can be impacted, so their lives can be impacted in a very special way. And so other than that, I think we want to jump right into it. I want to make sure that I don't forget anything. I want to do this in the very beginning. We just put out another B Tour stop, and where we went to a homeless men's shelter. I won't say homeless men's shelter. I'm just going to say a men's shelter, you know. And so I don't know, everybody's there now is not homeless. They just need a little assistance. So, but it was great, right?
it was amazing.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, if you didn't see that video, if you didn't see the video of that tour stop, you have to check it out. Like it was, we left feeling so good inside. It's like you go there thinking you're going to deposit something, and you definitely did.
Yeah, definitely.
But you leave with something as well. You know, and you just feel so blessed to be able to give, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, so make sure you go to the website to check it out. Or you can go scroll our Facebook, the B Tour Facebook. You can scroll that, and you can find this last B Tour stop, which is actually episode 3, season 1, episode 3. So we're only going to do about 10 episodes in season 1. So make sure you catch up on absolutely all of them. Good morning, Mike. How are you, man? And so definitely make sure you check out that B Tour stop. Okay. And so again, when this is over, share this video, help somebody else be encouraged. And then at 9:30, we're going to take questions. If those that's tuning in want to ask any questions at the end, we're going to give you an opportunity to do that. If not, we're going to thank you for your time and let you enjoy your Saturday. So let's get into what we're going to deal with today. And ultimately, we're going to be talking about working with what you have, working with what you have. And so if you've been following us for any amount of time, you've been encouraged to go for it, to hang in there, to pursue it, to make it happen. I mean, it's been something in you that's, you know, maybe even watching us, you know, like, man, look at them going for what's on the inside of them. It encourages you to do the same. And so what happens is that sometimes when you're encouraged on that level, you step out and you believe, and then you go for it, and then you're excited, and then actually after you get out there, it's kind of like, okay, now what do I do? You know, I'm excited, I'm encouraged, they pump me up, I'm out here, what exactly do I do? Where do I go? You know, and then you look around, and then it's kind of like, you know, most people get to this thing where it's like, I don't have enough of what I need to get the things I want done. You know, come on, if you guys be honest with me, those that's going to view this, if you be honest, we've all been to that point where you just feel like I just don't have enough to make it happen. I got the dream, I got the idea, I got the vision, I got the excitement, I got all of those, but I just don't have enough, you know. And normally we think we don't have enough, you know, because after the 9 to 5, after the kids, after the wife, after the family, after all of that, it just seems like I don't have time, I don't have energy, and I don't have enough resources to make this thing happen, you know. And you look at people that seemingly got it going on, and we say things like, you know, well, they got it going on because of all of this stuff that they have, and if I had that, then I can make this thing happen, you know. And so here's the reality of that. Most of those people we look at that seem like they got it all going on, they started with nothing. They started with, in some cases, less than what we have. You know, at least you got a place to stay, you got a job, you got this, you got that, right? It may be barely enough, but you got it. There's some people that's doing it really big, and they started with nothing, not even a place to stay in some instances. I was looking at this chart. It had a lot of millionaires and billionaires, and not just millionaires and billionaires, but people that were really impactful in the community and in the world. And some of these people started with literally nothing. I'm talking about homeless. I'm talking about they moved to another city, took their last $500, didn't even have a place to stay, and they went out and they just jumped out by faith and all of that. And I'm saying to you and those that's watching, you know, if they can start with nothing and make something out of it, then you feeling like you have nothing can make something out of this, you know. And so here's one of the first things you have to check off, you know. First thing you got to check off, you know, because you may be asking this question: how do I do it? How do I get things going if it doesn't seem like I have anything to work with? You know, no resources, no connections, no nothing. Go ahead.
I was about to jump in because I think you first got to realize and believe in yourself that, okay, I do have something. You know, because if you thinking that you don't have nothing, I think the first step would be, okay, now you got to start gearing your mind up, because it's always here first.
Always here.
It's always here first. So you got to convince yourself that, okay, I do have something. And because all the people that he was talking about, even if they didn't start with nothing and they had a little bit, they started with less than what they have now, and they were able to work with what they have. And so you have to now convince yourself, before you even put your hands to work, you got to convince yourself mentally, okay, I do have something. I do have talent. I do have ability. I do have this and that. You know, we're going to talk about that a little later, you know. But you do have something. And that's the first thing I think you got to do. You got to convince yourself that you do have what it takes. You can do this.
So you got to get your mind right, first off. Anytime you're trying to accomplish something, and me and my wife, we're not rich, we're not broke, we're not, I mean, we're like you. We're on our way to where we're going.
Right.
You know, it's different if you're listening to somebody that's a millionaire. You kind of feel like, well, you got millions. Of course you're going to say that, you know. But we're right in the same boat, you know. We're working with you, you know. But again, you know, we'll get into some of that in just a minute. Now, here's the first thing you got to check off. You know, you got to have your mind right. You got to set your mind to where you want to go, of course. But here's the other thing. Do you have hope? Do you have faith? Let's check that off first of all, because if you have no real hope that this is possible, or whatever it is that you're going after is possible, you know, you might as well stop right now. So that's the first thing. But here's the other thing and this is really important. Look around right now. While you're watching, just look around real quick. Use what you have. What do I have? What do I have to work with? And I know initially when you look at it, it's going to look like I don't have much of anything. I don't have anything to work with. I don't have no money. I don't have no finances. I don't have no resources, you know. But based on what you're trying to accomplish, you know, you got to start sometimes small, and then you got to look around and see, what can I do? Well, I don't have a computer at home or a printer. Yes, but the library is free. Right. And so that's where I started. Before you know, before the laptops and the computers and all of this, I would take my tail to the library to do the things that I needed to
Busting
do.
his butt would be there for hours.
I would be there for hours. I would work, and then I would come home, and then I'd be like, all right, babe, I'm gone. And I would go to the library, and I'm at the library, and I'm researching, and I'm doing my work. And even though it looks like, things were going great, I'm at the library trying to get this thing together. I had to go there to print things, and I'm paying 10 cents a copy and all of those kind of things, And so I had to use what was available to me, and I don't know what it is. Maybe those that's tuning in, you can ask your questions at the end at 9:30, but I don't know what it is you're trying to do or what it is you're trying to accomplish, but I know it seems like you don't have enough. But if you look around your life and you look around at the resources available to you, you can start with something. There's one guy, him and his friends started in their garage. They didn't have an office. They didn't have this. They didn't have that. And they used their garage. They looked around and said, hey, we got the garage. And I know it may not be popular, but let's go ahead and use it because we're going to need some space to do what we need to do. Now, I don't know what your garage is. I don't know what it is that's around you that's not the conventional way to get things rolling the way you want it to roll. But there's something you can use. There's some avenue that you can use that you haven't thought of. And that's what you got to do. You got to find yourself thinking outside the box. When you're trying to accomplish your goals, your visions, your dreams, and I can say that we've accomplished a couple things, as it relates to what we set ourselves to do. We had to think outside the box. We couldn't think like everybody else. We couldn't do things like everybody else. We had to use what we had.
Forget the rules.
Forget the rules.
Forget the status
Ball them
quo.
up and throw them out the window. Forget what everybody else does. Forget what you've seen on TV. Forget all of that.
Forget the traditional ways of how they say you're supposed to do it, or how they say you're supposed to carry it out. Like, forget all of that. Forget the way your mom did it. Forget the way your dad did it. And think and let it be deposited in you. Okay, a new way of doing things. There is a way. There is an avenue, and everybody doesn't always take the same road. You can create your own lane.
Say that again.
You can create your own road. You can be the bulldozer that plows down, and I'm like envisioning trees being plowed, something being plowed down. Just because there's not a road there doesn't mean that there can't be. You can make the road. You can figure out a new avenue. You can make resources come to you. There's so much you can do. And we were talking about this last night, and I was telling her, as long as we got this and we can do this and we can do this, like, there's so much we can find out. Like, we don't have any excuses. And it was so much you were saying. We don't have any excuses. You can research. You can talk with people. There is a wealth of information inside of other people. And sometimes you think you can all get it all online. And I know I just used that example, but there's nothing like this right here. Get it out there. Start talking about it. He was talking about that faith and that hope, you know, but you got to start talking about it. Once you believe it and once you're like, okay, I got this, and I'm looking for what I got and what I could use, start talking about it. You never know who can hear that conversation and be like, hey, I know somebody who can, do this, or who can help you with this. But you got to get it out there. You got to believe it enough to where it's going to start coming out your mouth and you start saying about it. When you was talking about the library and people didn't know you was doing 10-cent copies and all that stuff, that's not fake. That's excellence. Excellence is doing the best you can with what you have.
Say that again.
Excellence is doing the best you can with what you have. So you may be working on a very low budget. Say you just gonna
very low.
Say you're gonna use $10 a week to fund whatever you trying to do. That you're gonna put $10 a week into what you're doing. Do the best you can with that $10. If it means, like you were saying yesterday, you feel like you don't have the right attire to do what you want to do, go to the Goodwill or buy or invest into a nice tie. You can't get the whole suit, but get you a tie and put that nice tie with something that, do the best you can with what you have, and you'll watch that grow into something else. I know I'm rambling.
No, you're not rambling. You are right on point.
Okay.
Listen, I would, before I had the office, and I don't even use the office as much as I would like to use it, but even before I had the office, I would put on something nice. I would call and set up a meeting. I would meet these jokers at Starbucks because it's my favorite place to go. And I would sit down with my tie and my whatever on, and I would look my best. And I'm using what I got. I have no money in the bank. And here I am, a business owner trying to get things going. And what I'm saying is, whatever it is you're pursuing and you're going after, I know it feels like it's impossible. You feel like you're on your own. You feel like you don't have enough information. And you feel like you don't have enough connections. And if you just receive everything she just said, boy, I'm telling you, you'll be one step ultimately ahead of the game. But then you got to be creative. You know, I mean, you got to think outside the box and you got to be creative when it comes to accomplishing your goal, whatever it is.
Box.
Get out the box. Who cares if people say you should do it this way? Bump that. I don't care if your credit score is low and you don't have enough money. I am telling you, it is still possible to get done what you need to get done. And I know they say you need $20,000. No, I don't. I need to start somewhere. Once I start, I'll build my way up to where I'm ultimately trying to go. You know, and so just get going.
Yeah, you got to take baby steps.
Baby steps.
There's nothing wrong with baby steps. Baby steps still move you forward. Long as you moving forward, that's good progress. So, you know, you may not be able to, you know, say you want to start your own salon or something like that. Okay, if you got to start in your basement doing hair or, you know, whatever it is, take the baby steps. You know, get the flyer made. Do you know? Do the small things you can do before you
clean
own
the basement.
Your salon.
Clean your basement. Get the fires done, you know, word of mouth, you know, all that kind of stuff. Get a mirror, wipe the mirror off with some Windex, you know what I mean? Spray some stuff. My point is, you know, you got to start envisioning yourself where you want to be. And while you're using what you got to make the best of that situation, you know. And I think our problem this is for anybody, white people, black people, all of that. But black people in general, you know, we don't always take advantage of what's around us or what's available to us. You know, we're looking for the Big Bang Theory. We're looking for something to fall out the sky. We're looking for somebody to do it for us, you know. But for real, we got to put in the work necessary with what we have to get things going to ultimately where we want it to be. You know,
get it going.
And let's just be honest. You don't want to be working at your 9 to 5. Tell the truth. You don't want to work at that 9 to 5. At first you win, you like, thank God for the job, thank God for this, you know. But after a few months, you're like, man, I'm so tired of coming here for 10 hours a day and busting my butt for somebody that I don't even particularly care for this company. And then that's when the stuff that's on the inside of you start burning and you start saying, man, I need to go after what God put in me, you know. And so, but baby steps will help get you there, you know. And if you take baby steps for, let's just say, an hour, when you look back, I promise you, you'll be further from where you started, regardless of how long it took you to get there.
Because I'm even thinking about, you know, even this tour, you know, I don't know how it may seem to you guys, you know, but it's starting off small. Like, our vision is to give away houses and cars and, you know, build neighborhoods. Our vision is large,
Huge.
but we're starting with, you know,
a small tour stop,
going
going to a men's shelter, you know, and doing Be Live, you know what I mean?
I stopped because I didn't want to minimize what we did, because it is large.
It is large, no doubt.
You know?
It's just small compared to what we originally want to do, you know, but we are embracing the small baby steps that it's going to take to get to ultimately where we're going. Even look at who we got live. We got 3 people on live right now. And yet we're...
Hi, 3 people.
Right. And look, even though 2,000 people actually end up watching the video in the next couple of days, you know, we got three live people, which means, you know, we could be upset or salty or disappointed. Nah, but we're going to give those 3 people the best 30 minutes of their life.
Because we believe you're worth it. And so what do you believe? What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about what you want to do? Because that belief will move you into action. That belief will move you into progress. That belief will move you into making these moves. And I think what we're just trying to communicate today is just start. Just start. It's okay. And I know we talked about that like last month.
That's okay.
But it's such a good topic. Like just because there's so many people who want to do things, but they're afraid, or they don't, or like what we're talking about today. They don't feel like they have enough. But you just got to start with what you have and do the best with what you have. And you never know where that may take you.
You never know ultimately where it may take
Amber
you.
said this is helping her, so that's good.
Right. So, and we said in our basement when we talked about starting the B Tour, you know, this was before anything got going. It was just an idea, something that was in actually our hearts for a while. You know, and then we actually talked about it and got on the same page. And we said, if we can just help one person, you know, just one person, then we can be content with that, you know, and to see we're helping one or more, you know, I mean, we're right on cue. We're right on schedule, you know.
But look, we talked about the B tour in January. We didn't kick it off until August.
Right. So we had to get some stuff in line and some stuff in order, you know.
And so from January to August, we were taking baby steps. We were doing what we were supposed to do. We were researching. We were finding stuff. We were making connections.
We were working on the website. We were creating things. We took a long time to find the logo, you know. And so I finally found the logo. I actually designed the logo myself, and then I allowed Nobles Darby, who's he has his own marketing company, and we go through him a lot of times. He connected with me to perfect the logo, you know. But all of this was going on before things got going, you know, and there's so much you can do before things actually get going. You know, there's so much you can do before things actually get going. Listen, everything that's on the inside of you, somebody needs it. You have a responsibility to allow what's on the inside of you to come out of you because somebody else needs you. You have a responsibility to those that's going to need what you have. Those people that we affect with this tour from day to day, from week to week, we have a responsibility to them, you know. And because of that, you know, today I was tired. Do you hear me? I could barely get out this bed, and I just kind of like didn't want to do this today, you know, because I just wanted to rest. It's been a long week, but I had a responsibility to not just the 4 people that's going to be live, but the 2,000 people that's going to view it, you know, later on. And you have a responsibility to make it happen. That's why you can't quit. Good morning. That's why you can't quit and you can't give up and you can't slow down, you know. And sometimes life will slow you down, you know. By the time you get, let's be honest, by the time you get done working, by the time you get done dealing with these kids, and even if you don't got kids, by the time you get done with the errands and all these extra things, and some of you got 2 jobs and 2 things and 3 things. Or other
things you're committed to.
Or other things, church, ministry, hobbies, you know, working out, doesn't matter. It's like, it feels like you don't have enough time and energy to go after anything else, you know. And so life will have you in this cycle. You know, there's something when the airplane, what is it, when they're like in autopilot, you know, or they're in the holding pattern. And so life will put you in a holding pattern. And even though you're flying and even though you're up in the air, you ain't going nowhere. And that 9 to 5 will trick you to make you think like you going somewhere. And all you're doing is paying your car note, paying your house note, paying your light bill, going to the movies every now and then, and buying some shoes every now and then.
And for some of you, that's okay. Because I don't want to put down 9 to 5.
No. I'm a 9 to 5er. Now that's the thing. You know, we're not talking from a standpoint of what we don't know. I'm a 9 to 5er right now with this tour, with my business, and everything else I got going on. I got to get my tail up and go to the surgery department every single day at Cleveland Clinic, you know. And so imagine how much pressure that puts on me. But I know I'm after something greater. So I do what I can with what I have, but I don't stop right there. I don't let that 9 to 5 stop me from doing this tour, no matter how tired I am. And I don't let it stop me from running my business, no matter how tired I am. And you can't let life keep you in a holding pattern where you don't go after the things that you want to go after. I know you're tired. I know you're frustrated. I know you're disappointed. I know there's some bills that's behind. I know you don't have enough money. I know your car needs fixing. I know your kids need some clothes. I know your bank account is on 0. I know you had to go into your savings for something. I know all those things. But even with all those things going on, you got enough in you to pursue what it is that you're after. And we never said it was going to be easy. We never said that. So we're not saying it's going to be easy if you just do what we say. No. It's going to be hard, but it's going to be hard because I think most things that you pursue that's great is going to take a little bit more than the normal. If it was normal to be rich, everybody would be rich. You know, the reason some of those people are rich because they did some abnormal things. And to get to that next level, it's going to take some next level stuff,
and you feel it. I know even just while he was talking, you could feel it like, I'm supposed to be doing something else. I'm supposed to be doing something greater. And it won't leave you alone. Yep. It's always with you. It's always in your heart. It's always in the back of your mind.
Oh, yeah.
But you let life put you in this holding pattern, like he said. But all the while, you hear it calling to you.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. That's not discontentment. That's your greater trying to pull you and say, come on, girl. Come on, boy. Come on. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for you.
Yeah.
That's your greater calling out to you.
Yeah.
So don't let life put you into this hole. That was so good.
Yeah.
Don't let life do that to you. Break out. That's what we're trying to tell you. Break out.
Yeah.
Break out of the box. Do what you can, and don't feel bad about the small steps that you have to take. Everybody has to start somewhere, and you have a starting place.
Yeah.
You have a place where you can start, and you just got to take inventory and think about those things and put some time into it. You make time for what you want to make time for.
Yeah.
And it's time for you to put yourself on that list for once. You got the kids on there, the husband on there, the church on there, ministry on there. You got your job on there. You got your parents on there. You got the community on your mind. When you gonna put yourself on the list? When you gonna think about your dream and what you want?
Yeah.
And when you do, sit down and say, okay, this is what I want. How am I going to start?
Yep.
What do I have and what can I do?
Yep.
And that's the list we want you to make this week. That would be a good list for you to make.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then send it to us.
Yeah, send it to us. Go to the website, get the email, and send it to us. Listen, plan and execute, plan and execute, plan and execute, plan and execute. Don't go quit your job, Thomas. I was listening to Clarence and Lakeeta.
Don't quit your job.
And I was so man, I was so excited. I need to leave this job and go after my purpose. You leave your job you want to, and your tail be broke and put out your home. We're not saying that. If you want to be extreme and God leads you that way, bust a move. But if not, I'm saying you got to plan it. Here we are working 9 to 5 with the small business and the tour, but we're not quitting because we got to plan this. We got to pay these bills while we build this other stuff.
Right.
And you got to do the same thing. You got to plan it, but you got to execute it. People love to plan, but they don't love executing because executing going to take more time. It's going to take more energy, more effort, more resources, patience, and everything else. Something that most people don't have. But I declare, have that on today, right?
Yeah.
And so...
And so you plan like you're going to be here forever, but you live for today.
Say it again.
You plan like you're going to be here forever. You plan your life out.
Plan it out. Make your plans, like you're going to make your plans for the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Set that thing up, right? But you have to live life not like you have 20 years. You got to live life like you have today. You plan it forever, but you live it like today. That way it keeps you, what's the word I want to use? It keeps you with a sense of urgency so that you don't get to this place where you're stagnant and you're a procrastinator.
And you feel like, oh, I got time.
I got time. Here's the truth. You don't know if you got time. None of us really know if we got time, and so we hope we do and we believe we do, but we're going to live life like we don't. You know, and that keeps us going. And that's why I don't have time to sit around and do nothing. I have to go after my dreams, my goals, my visions. And all of my dreams and goals and visions is attached to my family, to make sure they're, where God wants them to be. But also I got to make sure I'm doing what God wants me to ultimately do, know. And so here's the last thing before we get into some questions. Those that's possibly tuning in live, in a couple of minutes, you guys will be able to ask us some questions about anything in particular that we're talking about, or about something you really want to know about getting going yourself, So you could be thinking about those as we deal with this last thing. You got to keep your head on the swivel for opportunities. Here's the last thing. Keep your head on the swivel for opportunities. Listen, opportunities, forget what you heard. They come and they go. And if you miss them, it's not always guaranteed it's going to come around, as quick as you would like it to come around. So you got to look at opportunities, and then you have to have the wherewithal and the enthusiasm to seize those opportunities. And the courage to seize them when it don't look like you should go after these opportunities. You gotta know you know, or just try it. You got to take the risk.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, going after your dreams is risky business. Going after what's on the inside of you is risky business, because honestly, it's almost like it's by faith, because you really just don't know. You know, but you don't know. You know, but you don't know. You really know, but you really don't know. And so going after these things, you know, it's risky business, and you got to keep your head on the swivel for opportunities. You know, like right now, it's an opportunity to talk to some people or ask questions to two people who probably is where you really want to be, or probably a little bit ahead of where you really want to be, that can help you get to where you really want to be for free.
Right.
You know, where everybody's charging to help people, we're saying we'll help you for free.
Right.
You know, so this could be an opportunity to ask a couple questions, get connected, you know, to where we can ultimately help you. But the point overall is, whatever the opportunity, you got to seize it. You know, you got to seize the opportunity.
You got to say yes to those opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to say yes. You can't be like, oh, I don't know if that's for me. You know, you scared. Just say yes.
Yep.
Just jump in. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do it. Yeah, I know Nike made that up, but you know, I think God gave it to them, and they didn't realize. Just do it. You know, and sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to just do it. So listen, it is 9:30 on the dot, according to our Mac computer. You know, and so we would love to keep going and going and going and going. You know, but if those of you that's viewing got any questions whatsoever, you can ask those one at a time, and then we can basically answer any of them for you. It's kind of like a coaching moment if you want it. If you don't want it, we'll move on, and we'll tell you guys have a great day. But if you do want it, you know, maybe your question will ultimately help somebody else. So if you want to go after your dream, your goal, your vision, something you want to get started, you don't know how to get started, listen to everything we've said today. You feel inspired to get going, but you kind of don't know where to start or where to kind of take off. You know, let us help you with taking off on that level, you know. And so those that's going to be watching this later, you didn't watch it live, you're going to be watching it later, feel free to email us. Go to our website and go hit contact, and that'll give you our contact information, and then you can email us whatever you want, and we'll get back in contact with you to kind of help you get going. You know, our goal is to encourage, to inspire, to meet needs and desires. So we're here to help.
We want you to be encouraged.
We want you to be encouraged. So we're going to give you one more minute to see if anybody's going to jump on with a question, you know. And if you don't have a question, if you don't want to ask any questions, if you don't want to us to address or deal with anything, you know, it can be general, it could be personal, it can be general, it doesn't matter. But we'll give you 1 minute to do that, you know.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you share the broadcast.
Share it, share. Yeah, not for you, but for somebody else. You know, we're not trying to blow up by making you share. We just want to help somebody, really. You know, and I know it's going to be, for us, it's always a couple thousand people that'll watch it. We thank God for that. But imagine how many more people could be encouraged by this if just a few people share it and let their friends and their friends experience it. So. Yeah.
Thank you guys for the opportunity to speak into your lives. We love doing this.
Yeah, we love doing this. So listen, I don't see any questions. I don't see any comments. So this video will self-destruct, and you got time. It will self-destruct in 20 seconds.
Guys, have a blessed Saturday.
All right, so I don't see anything. So you guys be blessed and be encouraged. All right? Bye.
Bye.
Wait. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thought it was a question. False alarm. Thought it was a question.
You're welcome, Amber.
All right, you're welcome, Amber. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.